Hello, I'm Victoria Loveland-Coen, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what it means to become a vibrational match and why you need to become a vibrational match to whatever it is you want to create in your life, whether that's love or prosperity or success or physical well-being or peace, whatever it is you want to create in your life. And when you do, there will be nothing that can hold back the good from getting to you. In fact, it will rush into your life faster than you can imagine. And then in the second video, I will be leading you through an exercise that I do with my students of conscious co-creating. One of the exercises that I do to actually become that vibrational match. But the first crucial step is to learning how and why this all works. But first, let me just take a moment to tell you a little bit about who I am. So I am a licensed spiritual coach, an ordained interfaith minister, an author, the founder of the Gratitude Experiment, and the creator of the Conscious Co-Creating program. And my background is in New Thought, which, if you're not familiar with that term, refers to a school of thought that started with the Transcendentalists, really all the way back to the late 1700s in Sweden, Emanuel Swedenborg. And then in this country, in America, around the mid-1800s with Transcendentalists like Emerson and Thoreau, who were also inspired by the wisdom, the transforming wisdom from the ancient Vedas, which was being introduced into this country, coincidentally, around the same time. Now these ideas begin to catch on, and they're adopted now by many of the New Thought pioneers like Wallace Wattles and Emma Curtis Hopkins and Myrtle and Charles Fillmore and Ernest Holmes, amongst others, who use these ideas and create kind of a methodology for healing and experience incredible physical healings for themselves and others. They create success for themselves and others, healing relationships. So word of these healings begin to spread, and a movement is born, a movement which continues through this day. Now, I don't want to spend any more time with the history of this because I want to get to what you want to hear, which is what are these concepts and how can I use them to create success in my life, right? But there is a history of success with these ideas, with these methods. And in fact, we are standing on the shoulders of many who have gone before and created a foundation of success using these methods. And you know, some people, some experts who talk about and teach the law of attraction, the law of success, don't always have a full understanding of where these concepts originated, so they don't really see the whole picture. They don't really get the proper perspective, because there's a much larger concept here, and one which the law of attraction is but one. The law of attraction is just one idea in a much broader, more complete understanding. So again, I grew up in these concepts and I began experimenting with them in my teenage years, which was a long time ago. And as I was experimenting with them, I had some really tremendous success sometimes, and then other times, nothing. So what I am teaching now is really the result of what I've learned and developed through years and years of trial and effort. And so it has become sort of a system for manifesting and realizing your heart's desires. It has worked for me and for my students. So I am sharing just a piece of that with you today. So let's get going. Let's just dive right in. So let's talk about now what a vibrational match is. What does this mean? Okay, so the concept of this becomes clearer as we begin to understand that we are all vibrational beings. We are all vibrational beings living in a vibrational universe. And this is not New Age woo-woo. This is science. And science tells us the entire universe is created out of atoms. And all atoms are created out of subatomic particles, which at their core are vibration, energy. So everything in the universe is either energy expressed or potential energy. The existence of something or the potential existence of something, right? And what science is beginning to realize, but New Thought has known all along, is that the entire thing is orchestrated by consciousness. The entire thing is orchestrated by consciousness. We are vibrational beings, but what's more than that, we are conscious vibrational beings, and we have more power to create our experience in life than most people realize. And understanding how consciousness and vibration works together is key to mastering this. So let's explore this now. Okay, so let's take this idea that everything is energy, whether it's energy expressed or potential energy, the existence of something or the potential existence of something. So what causes the potential existence of something to become actual form and experience? Consciousness, intention. It's how the universe creates by conscious, active, dynamic thought or intention. And what, on a universal level, whether that's the entire galaxy or this planet or the trees in your backyard or these bodies, whatever it is, it comes from the infinite energy through the intention of the one universal mind. And whatever you want to call that, some people feel comfortable calling that God. Some people like to call it divine mind. Some people infinite intelligence. Some people like to call it great spirit. Whatever it is that you call it, this is what we're talking about. And there's more. Since we are this one infinite intelligence in expression, the infinite divine expressing itself in this time and space, our active, dynamic thoughts, our intentions have the power to bring the potential into actual existence. That's right, we have the power to shift potential energy into actual experience in our lives. Now, in my Conscious Co-Creating program, I go into detail about how this all works and the power of our creative thought and how to fully utilize that power. So one of the New Thought pioneers that I mentioned before, Ernest Holmes, whose masterwork, The Science of Mind, in that he wrote this: "The world is saturated with divinity, immersed in reality, and filled with possibility. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into a present actuality in our everyday experience. This is the way to freedom, the pathway to peace and happiness." Now, of course, most people are unaware of their power, so they use this power unconsciously. And even some of us who do know this, occasionally we forget. And then some people, there's one area of their lives where they just can't see it. They see it in everything else, but they just can't see it in this one place, or maybe there's several places. And so rather than taking that infinite potential and molding it into a present actuality in their experience, What happens is that they just keep recreating yesterday's limitation, yesterday's lack of well-being, yesterday's disappointments that are based on focusing on a world of effects or whatever it is that they're worried about. So, when you do this, you are actually holding yourself apart from the good that you say that you want. You are actually blocking the possibility that would otherwise, normally, naturally blossom in your life. See, the good wants to get to you. It's the natural order of things to come to fruition, the natural order of things for your intention to come to fruition. You know, when you set your intention and you affirm your intention and you're embracing your intention, the universe is working. It is moving this potential energy into your life. And it is on its way to you, but bam, it hits a wall. And what is this wall? Well, this wall is created by being out of alignment, out of vibrational alignment with that good, by always recreating yesterday's limitation, yesterday's lack of well-being, yesterday's focus on the world of effects, yes, whatever it is that you're worried about, rather than focusing on the field of limitless possibilities, which is all around you, which is surrounding you, which is waiting to be birthed into your life, waiting for you to name it, to call it forth. So, for example, let's just say that you're somebody who feels that you've been maybe unlucky in love. Maybe you feel like you'll never find your soulmate. So that's what you're working on now. You're setting your intention about finding a soulmate and maybe creating a beautiful, mutually loving, satisfying relationship. So you've identified that possibility, you're calling it forth, you're setting your intention, you're affirming that intention, you're embracing that intention. It's on its way to you, but in the meantime, but as you move through your day, your current state of loneliness begins to gnaw at you. And maybe you see a happy couple. When you see a happy couple walking by, you feel sadness in your heart. You might think, oh, why can't I have that? Or I'll never have that. Of course, this is unconscious, but sometimes it is conscious. You know, if you've ever maybe gotten together with a friend and commiserated about this and complained about your current unwanted state of loneliness. And so what happens is that being lonely begins to feel normal and natural to you. You might even dread Valentine's Day. I had a roommate once who, on every Valentine's Day, like at 7 o'clock at night, she would take 2 Valium and just go to bed. She just didn't want to experience the pain. And it was, you know, she was young and attractive. It's like she wrote herself off before her life began. So over time, what this does is that you are including in your vibration this feeling of not having what it is you want. I'll say that again. You are including in your vibration this sense of not having what you want, and that's the wall. That's what blocks your good. And this is true with whatever it is, whether it's the experience of abundance, or it's physical well-being, or it's peace of mind, or it's success, whatever it is. If you're including in your vibration that feeling of not having what it is that you truly want, and that begins to feel normal to you, you're blocking the possibility. And all the while, we had the power to return to Kansas. As remember, Glenda said to Dorothy, "You've always had the power all along to return home to Kansas." And her friends are like, yeah, then why didn't you tell her? And Glenda says, well, because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn the lesson for herself. And so the possibility for us of love, of success, of prosperity, of physical well-being, of peace of mind, of divine guidance, whatever it is that we want to create in our lives is ours. It's just waiting for us to take that leap of belief, to learn the lesson for ourselves, to learn the principles, to become in alignment, to become a vibrational match with that good that we have accepted, that we have claimed, accepted, and affirmed, and set our intention for. So there's an exercise that I do with my conscious co-creating students. One of the exercises that is specifically to become a vibrational match. And I will be sharing that with you in the next video. So be on the lookout for it. It will come in the next day or two. But in the meantime, just know that this possibility that you want to create in your life is waiting for you. It is waiting for your invitation. It is ready to blossom in your life. And when you become a vibrational match with it, it will. It'll be yours. Peace and blessings.